Pittsburgh Steel fans, this is why TJ Watt is the undisputed Defensive Player of the Year. No matter what happens at the NFL awards, he's already won a bunch of season awards as Defensive Player of the Year, but now it's time to win the big one, the NFL official awards as Defensive Player of the Year, and here's why he should win it. All right, we're going to use StatHead, a feature of Pro Football Reference, to compare 6 key defensive leaders from this season against each other and against particularly TJ Watt. That's Danielle Hunter, Myles Garrett, Josh Allen from the Jags, not the Bills, TJ Watt, obviously, Khalil Mack, and Micah Parsons. Now, these stats are all from the regular season. We won't talk playoff stats. Each of these guys played in 17 games except for Myles Garrett, so that is in his favor if you talk about like production per game. But in terms of who led with interceptions, that would be TJ and Josh Allen with 1 each. TJ is also the only one amongst these blokes to have had a touchdown as well. So that's a very key difference between him and all the rest of the guys. He also had 19 sacks overall. He was the NFL sack leader. That usually goes a long way to winning the award. It's 1.5 more than Josh Allen. It's 5 more than Myles Garrett. It's 1 more than Khalil Mack, 5 more than Micah Parsons, and 2.5 more than Danielle Hunter. He was second on this list in terms of solos tackles. We'll look at combined tackles behind Khalil Mack. He had 4 forced fumbles, which was equal with Garrett, equal with Hunter, 1 less than Khalil Mack. So Khalil Mack's put up a good fight for Defensive Player of the Year, certainly. But TJ Watt has 3 fumble recoveries. That is 2 more than his next competitors in Garrett and Micah Parsons. If we go and move on a little bit further down into some statistical differences, TJ Watt has the most amount of quarterback hits, 36 to Josh Allen and Micah Parsons, 33. Myles Garrett only had 30. Danielle Hunter only had 22. Khalil Mack only had 22. So this is a key area difference for TJ Watt versus Garrett, Hunter, and Mack, who are pretty close to him in some of the other statistical areas. If you look at pure tackles for a loss, TJ's midway with 19. Khalil Mack, 21. Danielle Hunter, 23. Again, still ahead of Myles Garrett. That's a big thing. So Myles Garrett, I don't know what this thing is about him getting it. As I said, solo tackles, TJ Watt was 3rd amongst these guys. Assisted tackle, he was, I think, 4th. Yep. So combined tackles, he comes up as 3rd on this list, but he has the most amount of sacks. As I said, he's one of the 2 blokes that has an interception. You look at pass defenses, he's number 2nd on the list. So again, Khalil Mack put up a very good fight. If Khalil Mack wins it, at least that's better than Danielle Hunter or Myles Garrett winning it. But TJ has those 2 more sacks than Khalil Mack. He has the more quarterback hits as well. And he has the fumble recoveries. That's a big difference too. And he has more forced fumbles as well. Whereas, Khalil Mack has 1 more forced fumble than him. Now, if you look at quarterback knockdowns, this is where it's interesting again. TJ Watt, 18 quarterback knockdowns ahead of everybody else. He's about middle of the pack for quarterback hurries with Hunter and Allen ahead of him. But again, Myles Garrett down the bottom of this list. You look at pressures overall as well. TJ Watt, 50 pressures. Again, led this group. That's huge too. Even you look at quarterback rating. TJ Watt was targeted the second most amount of times, allowing 5 passes. Josh Allen was targeted 9 times. Josh Allen allowed six passes. Myles Garrett allowed a quarterback rating of 39.6 on 1 target that he had. 1 target thrown his way. TJ Watt allowed a quarterback rating of 40.1, literally 0.5 difference, and he had 8 targets thrown his way. So again, pass coverage, obviously it helps TJ getting the interception, but pass coverage, TJ is the best out of this list. Pure and simple. So huge from that perspective. You look at overall defensive snaps as well. TJ Watt, middle of the pack. So he didn't require the most amount of snaps to do all of this. And that's where he's probably ahead when you look at the amount of statistics that Khalil Mack just edges TJ. Khalil Mack actually had 3 more snaps. Now, it's pretty close. But the difference is in terms of both teams is about 1.4% in terms of each team's respective snaps that were available for these guys. But overall, this shows you that TJ Watt is definitely the statistical leader amongst the statistical leaders on defense in the NFL this past season. There's no disputing it. TJ Watt's the Defensive Player of the Year. There's no question, no but, no if, no stat line that says anything different. It's not about the Defensive Player of the Year is not about who is the best team in the league. Remember when Stephon Gilmore won it? We've seen other players over the years. Their team has not been the best team in the league or necessarily even the best defense. TJ Watt is the deserved Defensive Player of the Year. He's an alien, as Mike Tomlin says. Let's watch him hopefully win it at the NFL Awards because, hey, he deserves it. He did it. He's the winner. I love it. If you are an opposing fan team or you're a fan of any of the other guys I mentioned, prove me wrong with a stat in the comments. I'd love to see it. Otherwise, as always, go Steelers.